Shon Morris joins us as earlier in the day. Thursday was Big Ten Basketball Media Day. It's coming. It's coming. We're less than a month away from the first official game. Let's get to some interesting things that happened today. I think one of the most interesting things was what Tom Izzo had to say when he was talking about limits on the amount of time that players can practice.
I think it's a joke. Personally, are we going to limit time on Twitter? Are we going to limit their, we're so worried about the players that we don't want to practice. We don't want to do this. I mean, there's no coach. Coaches are smarter than we used to be, I think. We're not going to beat a kid to death, But sometimes I wonder when these new things come out, who are they polling? Are they polling the basketball player? Are they polling the student athlete? Because every sport's different, I don't see surgeons worrying about their time. I don't see musicians worrying about theirs. But for some reason, we want to give guys more time. When we give them more time, there seems to be more trouble, and then we get in trouble. So, I struggle with that thing.
That's interesting. And this is going to be a young Big Ten league this year. What's your take on what Tom said?
Well, I think what Coach Izzo was saying, the pendulum has really swung. You go back 25, 30 years ago, there were absolutely no limits on the number of practice days or practice times that people had. People started to worry about, hey, the student-athlete experience and student-athlete welfare. Now the pendulum has swung completely the other way in terms of strict limitations. You have people that all they do is monitor practice time and have to put that in. I think what Coach Izzo is also talking about is the fact that, yeah, guys can get in the gym on their own, but if you're working on developing something and it's not the right way and you develop bad habits and there's no one there to oversee you and correct you, it creates other problems once they do get into official practice time. I think you're going to start to see the pendulum swing back a little bit more, because right now a kid can get in there anytime he or she wants, but the amount of instruction that they get is limited.
And the instruction you're talking about, the bad habits you're talking about, especially matter if you're a young player. And like I was saying, there's a lot of youth in the league this year. Give me the team that is going to be best served this upcoming season by the youth.
Mike, you can look at this question any number of ways, so I chose my way to look at this question, if you don't mind.
I accept.
And I'm going to go with the Purdue Boilermakers for this fact. They do have a nice infusion of young talent, Caleb Swanigan being the most notable example of that. And I think you throw in the fact that you return a couple of other outstanding big guys in Isaac Haas and A.J. Hammonds. You throw in Swanigan in that, you have a nice addition with that youth. You also have now a fifth-year guy coming in to handle the point guard in Johnny Hill. So I think with the youth that's being kind of dispersed throughout the league, I think Purdue has a chance this year to take advantage of their own infusion of youth as well as the experience that will accompany that.
What about the flip side, a team that's going to struggle with their youth?
Ohio State, to me, Mike, is really kind of a mystery team for the simple fact that, yes, they had a young guy last year, a guy named D'Angelo Russell, who I think is going to do okay at the next level, but they also lost Shannon Scott and Sam Thompson. So you're going to have a lot of guys that are going to have to play significantly more minutes as true sophomores. Deshaun Tate had an outstanding freshman season, but guys like Keita Bates-Diop are going to have to really answer the bell. And to me, the key for Coach Thad Matta, at least in the early going, is what does he get out of Mark Loving? He was kind of up and down, but he's a junior now, so he's really the most experienced player in terms of time on campus that he has. So Ohio State is going to be up and down. There's going to be times they look really good, and there's going to be times that they're going to struggle because of the amount of youth that they're trying to incorporate.
Right, because they'll be young but talented.
Ooh,
I mean, 5 different 4-star recruits are coming in and will be freshmen this season for the Buckeyes. So let me pick out a handful of teams. We'll do like a rapid-fire thing, but we're going to call this one-sentence previews. Okay, so I'll give you the team, and you give me a one-sentence season preview.
Is this like a Rorschach test or something?
Yes, in a way. You can be wrong.
I see a bat. Anyway, go ahead.
Number 1, your one-sentence preview for the Maryland Terrapins.
A lot of mouths to feed.
Your one-sentence preview for the Indiana Hoosiers.
Please guard somebody.
The Michigan State Spartans.
Continue the tradition of rebounding the ball at an elite level.
How about the Northwestern Wildcats?
We don't want a repeat, we meaning Northwestern, of the 2014 Iowa season. Would you like clarification on that?
Yeah, you're talking about their non-conference schedule.
Right, I think the non-conference schedule, they're going to have a lot of high RPI teams, which if they get into the Big Ten, and I think they have a chance to be one of the most improved teams in this conference, you hope that if you're Northwestern, that non-conference schedule that you put together in November, December doesn't maybe keep you out if you're on the proverbial bubble.
That was more of a run-on one sentence, we'll say.
Well, that's right. You can circle it in red and send it back.
How about this, Michigan?
Healthy. We're going to go as far as our health takes us.
Before we let you go, give me your top 5. We know how deep the Big Ten has been year in, year out. Give me 5 to 1 the best teams in the Big Ten this season.
Mike, just remember this is for entertainment purposes only.
Okay.
But my number 5 team, the Indiana Hoosiers, and the reason I have them at number 5 is what we talked about earlier. If they're able to tidy things up defensively, this is a team that is going to score. They have some elite players. Thomas Bryant, a nice addition inside. But defensively, that's kind of a team that I want to keep my eye on. And I think they can move up very precipitously if they're able to handle things on the defensive end of the floor. My number 4 team, I know a lot of people are going to roll their eyes, Mike, but I'm going with the Wisconsin Badgers. Until somebody knocks them off that perch, this is a team that I think really has a chance to do some nice things. Nigel Hayes was my preseason conference player of the year. I think his role is going to expand. Number 3, the Purdue Boilermakers. Their inside presence of A.J. Hammonds, he started to kind of round into form last year, play a more complete game. Isaac Haas, the addition of Swanigan, as we talked about, I think has them the opportunity to really make a move in this league if they can get some consistent point guard play. My number 2 team preseason, the Michigan State Spartans, Denzel Valentine. I went back and forth between he and Nigel Hayes as who I thought might be the preseason player of the year. Valentine, very ability to score, to distribute the basketball, some great experience internationally this year. And then the top team in the league, maybe the top team in the country, depending on whom you listen to, the Maryland Terrapins. This is a team that has an abundance of riches. However, they're going to miss Des Wells, particularly in the early going, a lot more than some people might think.
I want to show you something. Look how close we are to college basketball right here on BTN. We are less than a month away. Show that graphic. Show that full screen. Show it. Show it. Look at that. November 13th, Sean. 2 of the teams you mentioned. Maryland plays on BTN at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. And after that, the Wisconsin Badgers play. Shon Morris.
That's a segue.
That's not bad, right?
Not bad.
You're not bad either. Thanks, Sean.